In the Arctic, where water freezes instantly and nothing dries easily, staying clean is a challenge. No hot showers, no washing machines, just resourcefulness and tradition. Yet the Inuit have perfected ways to bathe and wash clothes in these extreme conditions. For generations, the Inuit have relied on their deep knowledge of the land to adapt to the cold. Their methods of bathing and washing clothes may seem unconventional, but they are both effective and essential for survival. Let's take a closer look at how they stay fresh in a world of ice and snow. Surviving in the Arctic means adapting to an environment where water is frozen for most of the year, making conventional bathing methods impossible. In such extreme conditions, the Inuit have developed a highly efficient way to stay clean while conserving water in the bathhouse. These small wooden structures provide warmth, hygiene, and social connection, all while using minimal water. With no running water, the Inuit use a steam bath to cleanse the body. Instead of standing under flowing water, bathers sweat out impurities as heat and humidity open their pores. Bathhouses are compact wooden buildings that trap and circulate heat, powered by a wood-burning stove. Once inside, the intense warmth causes the body to perspire, flushing out dirt and toxins. However, preparing the bathhouse is a labor-intensive process that requires hours of effort before it is ready for use. A traditional Inuit bathhouse has two sections: a changing area and a steam room. The changing area, with a higher ceiling, serves as a space to cool down before and after the bath. The steam room is much smaller, typically with a ceiling no higher than 4 feet, designed to trap heat effectively. A recessed section of the floor houses a wood stove, which generates the steam. Some bathhouses are built with marine painted plywood floors to prevent infections that can arise from prolonged moisture exposure. Bathing in a steam bath follows a structured process. Since it is a communal activity, sessions are usually separated by gender. Men typically bathe first, heating the wood stove to its highest level. Temperatures inside the bathhouse can exceed 150 degrees Fahrenheit, and endurance in extreme heat is sometimes viewed as a sign of strength. Once the bathhouse is sufficiently hot, water is ladled onto hot stones, producing thick clouds of steam. The steam fills the room, making it easier to breathe while also intensifying the heat. Bathers remain inside for as long as they can tolerate the temperature, sweating out impurities in the process. When the heat becomes too overwhelming, they step out into the changing area to cool down and drink water. This cycle of steaming and cooling may be repeated several times during a session. However, there is a disadvantage. Frequent use of steam baths can cause a skin reaction known as mucky skin, where the heat creates a reddish, lace-like pattern on the skin. In those who take steam baths occasionally, this pattern fades within hours. However, for those who steam regularly, the skin changes can become permanent over time. Unlike modern showers, which require large amounts of running water, Inuit bathhouses use minimal water. After sweating out impurities, a final rinse is done using melted snow or ice water, requiring only about a gallon of water per person. The combination of heat, perspiration, and manual scrubbing ensures a thorough cleanse without excessive water consumption. Aside from said disadvantage, maintaining a functional bathhouse in the Arctic is not easy. Firewood is the primary fuel source, but trees are scarce in many Inuit regions. To ensure a steady supply, families spend months gathering and storing firewood, planning ahead for the long winter. A single bathhouse session may require 3 full loads of firewood, and reaching the desired temperature can take up to 5 hours. Because of this, steam baths are not a daily ritual. Most families bathe only once or twice a week, making each session count by thoroughly cleansing themselves. Steam baths offer more than just cleanliness. They provide significant health benefits. The high temperatures open pores, improve circulation, and release toxins. The warmth of the bathhouse soothes muscle tension, relieves stress, and promotes relaxation, especially after long hours spent in the freezing cold. Many Inuit believe that regular steam baths strengthen the immune system, helping to ward off illnesses in an environment where staying healthy is crucial for survival. On the other hand, there is a unique aspect of Inuit steam bathing, which is the practice of cooling off in the freezing air. After sweating heavily in the bathhouse, many step outside to let the cold air hit their skin. Some even roll in the snow before returning inside for a final rinse. This dramatic temperature shift is believed to stimulate circulation, tighten the skin, and build resistance to the cold. It also enhances the invigorating effect of the bath, leaving bathers feeling refreshed and energized. Since running water is unavailable in many Inuit settlements, families must gather and melt ice or fresh snow for bathing. This process is time-consuming and requires patience. Since water is such a precious resource, soap is used sparingly, and much of the cleansing relies on the heat and scrubbing action rather than soap lathering. Every drop is conserved, making this a highly efficient bathing system adapted to the Arctic environment. For the Inuit, bathhouses are more than just a place to get clean. They serve as important social spaces, bringing people together to relax, share stories, and strengthen community bonds. Unlike Native American sweat lodges, which have deep spiritual significance, Inuit steam baths are primarily a practical and social tradition. They provide warmth, hygiene, and an opportunity for socializing, making them an essential part of Inuit daily life. The Inuit bathhouse is a remarkable example of adaptation to one of the harshest climates on Earth. Through the use of steam, minimal water, and careful resource management, the Inuit have created an effective and sustainable way to maintain hygiene. While climate and environment present challenges, their ingenuity allows them to thrive, ensuring that even in the most extreme cold, they can stay warm, clean, and connected to their community. Living in the Arctic presents many challenges, and staying clean is one of them. In a region where water remains frozen for most of the year, even simple tasks like washing clothes require careful planning and effort. With no access to running water or modern washing machines, the Inuit have developed effective and sustainable methods to keep their clothing clean while conserving their limited water supply. Just as with bathing, doing laundry in the Arctic is a labor-intensive process. Water is scarce, and every drop must be used efficiently. Since pipelines and plumbing are not feasible in the frozen tundra, Inuit families must manually collect and melt ice or snow for washing. This process requires time and patience, as large quantities of snow must be gathered and slowly heated to produce enough water. The effort involved means that laundry is not done daily but in batches to make the most of the available resources. Once water is ready, clothes are washed by hand using minimal amounts of soap. Harsh detergents are generally avoided, as they require excessive rinsing and can be difficult to remove completely with limited water. Instead, simple and natural soaps are used, helping to break down dirt while being gentle on both fabric and skin. The washing process involves soaking, scrubbing, and wringing out excess water before the clothes are set out to dry. Inuit communities have long used an alternative method for washing wool and other delicate fabrics, cleaning them with fresh snow. This technique is both effective and practical, as it requires no water and helps maintain the integrity of the wool's natural fibers. The process involves placing a wool garment on clean, powdery snow and lightly pressing it in, allowing the snow to absorb dirt and odors trapped in the fabric. After several minutes, the item is flipped over and repeated on the other side. The wool is then shaken out to remove any remaining snow before being hung to dry indoors. This method works well because the cold temperature helps lift grime while preserving the wool's natural lanolin, which provides insulation and water resistance. Unlike washing with water, which can cause wool fibers to stretch, shrink, or weaken, using snow cleans the garment while keeping its texture and durability intact. This centuries-old technique remains a preferred way to freshen wool items in the Arctic. Once clothes have been washed, drying them presents another challenge. Bringing wet clothes inside is not an option, as the excess moisture could create dampness inside the home, leading to condensation, mold, and discomfort. Instead, the Inuit dry their clothes outdoors using the Arctic's frigid air to their advantage. At first, garments exposed to the cold turn stiff as they freeze. However, instead of drying through traditional evaporation, the moisture within the fabric undergoes sublimation, a process where ice transitions directly into vapor without becoming liquid. This unique drying method allows clothes to become fully dry without dripping, even in temperatures well below freezing. While drying clothes in freezing air is effective, the process depends on environmental conditions. Wind is a key factor, as it helps move moisture away from the fabric and speeds up sublimation. On days when there is no wind, drying can take longer, and thick fabrics like wool may retain some dampness. Low humidity is another crucial element. When Arctic air is dry, clothes dry more efficiently, but if humidity levels are high, the drying process slows down significantly. Another challenge is the unpredictability of Arctic weather. Sudden snowstorms, extreme cold snaps, or rising humidity levels can make outdoor drying difficult. If a storm arrives, clothing must be retrieved quickly to prevent it from becoming buried in snow or coated in frost. Some families choose to partially dry their clothes outside before bringing them indoors to finish the process near a heat source, such as a wood stove. Despite the challenges, outdoor drying remains the best method for keeping clothes fresh and clean in the Arctic. Without access to electric dryers, the Inuit rely on nature's own processes, using cold temperatures, wind, and low humidity to their advantage. This method not only conserves energy but also helps extend the life of clothing, as it avoids the wear and tear caused by mechanical drying. Drying clothes in freezing air also has additional benefits. The extreme cold kills bacteria and removes odors naturally, meaning that clothes emerge not just dry, but also sanitized. This natural disinfection process helps maintain hygiene without the need for chemical treatments. For generations, the Inuit have relied on these practical and sustainable methods to wash and dry their clothing. Their ability to adapt to their environment and make use of the resources available to them is a testament to their resilience and ingenuity. In a land where survival depends on efficiency and conservation, every drop of water and every gust of wind plays a role in maintaining a clean and functional household. Life in the Arctic is extremely challenging, with harsh weather, long winters, and limited resources. Surviving in such an environment requires strong teamwork, not just within families but across the entire community. The Inuit have long understood that no one can thrive alone in these extreme conditions. Every member of a household, children, adults, and elders, plays an important role in ensuring the well-being of the family. In an Inuit household, responsibilities are shared based on age, skill, and physical ability. Each task, no matter how small, contributes to the family's survival. Young children start by learning simple but essential skills, such as melting ice for drinking water, gathering small pieces of firewood, and helping with basic household chores. As children grow, they learn more complex survival skills by watching and assisting their parents and elders. Inuit education is hands-on. Children are not taught through books but through experience. Every lesson is practical because in the Arctic, knowing how to do things correctly can mean the difference between life and death. Men and boys traditionally handle tasks that require physical strength and endurance, such as hunting, fishing, and collecting large amounts of firewood. Hunting is particularly important because it provides food as well as materials for clothing and shelter. The fur and skins of animals are used to make warm clothing, and every part of the animal is utilized to ensure nothing goes to waste. Women and girls focus on food preparation, sewing, and maintaining the household. These tasks are just as crucial as hunting because proper clothing and well-preserved food are necessary for survival. Sewing, in particular, is a vital skill. Clothes must be carefully stitched to provide maximum warmth and protection. A poorly sewn boot or coat could allow cold air or moisture to seep in, leading to frostbite or sickness. Although these roles exist, they are not strict rules. The Inuit value adaptability and cooperation above all else. Everyone is expected to help where needed, regardless of traditional roles. For example, women often assist in butchering hunted animals, while men may help with cooking, child-rearing, and household repairs. The ability to take on multiple roles ensures that tasks are completed even if someone is unable to do their usual work due to illness, injury, or absence. Beyond individual families, the Inuit rely on their entire community for survival. Helping others is not just a kind gesture, it is necessary. In the Arctic, one person's success benefits everyone, and one person's hardship affects the whole group. When a hunter returns with a successful catch, the food is shared among multiple families, especially those who were unable to hunt. This prevents anyone from going hungry and strengthens social bonds. Similarly, if someone's shelter needs repairs or firewood is running low, neighbors step in to help. This culture of generosity ensures that no one is left to struggle alone. Inuit communities also work together on large-scale tasks. For example, they may collectively build or repair shelters, set up fishing nets, or organize a communal hunt. These group efforts allow people to share resources, distribute work efficiently, and strengthen their relationships with one another. Cooperation is not just a cultural value, it is a survival strategy. The Inuit way of life is built on the understanding that survival is a shared responsibility. Every person, no matter their age or role, contributes to the well-being of the group. Children are trained from an early age to develop skills they will need as adults. Men and women work together to provide food, warmth, and shelter, and the entire community ensures that no one is left behind. This deep sense of teamwork has allowed the Inuit to survive and thrive in one of the most extreme environments on Earth for thousands of years. Their lifestyle is a powerful example of how cooperation, adaptability, and mutual support create a strong, resilient society. Because of the extreme cold, traditional indoor plumbing is not practical in many Inuit communities. Water pipes would freeze and burst, making conventional toilets impossible to maintain. Instead, the Inuit rely on outdoor toilets, which are designed to function effectively in sub-zero temperatures. These outdoor toilets are simple but highly practical. They are usually small wooden structures built over deep pits. The Arctic's freezing temperatures immediately solidify waste, preventing decomposition and eliminating odors. Unlike in warmer climates, where waste needs to be treated and broken down, the cold preserves it in place. The toilets must be carefully maintained to prevent waste from accumulating too much, and periodic removal is necessary to keep the area clean. Waste is disposed of in designated locations far from homes and food storage areas to ensure hygiene and safety. Since the frozen ground prevents the digging of traditional sewage systems, these waste pits serve as a natural and effective alternative. The Arctic cold itself acts as a sanitation system, naturally keeping bacteria growth to a minimum. This method has been used for generations and remains one of the most efficient ways to manage waste in freezing conditions. Some Inuit communities have experimented with composting toilets, which use biological processes to break down waste. However, composting requires warmth for decomposition to occur, making it challenging in Arctic environments. Without insulation or an external heat source, the process slows or stops entirely in sub-zero temperatures. Some families have adopted batch composting, where waste is stored in containers until it can be processed in the warmer months. But this method requires careful maintenance and is not as widely used as frozen waste pits. Managing waste in the Arctic is an ongoing challenge, and while some communities are looking for modern solutions, traditional methods remain the most practical and reliable. The Inuit have long adapted to their environment, using nature's own freezing temperatures to their advantage, ensuring that sanitation remains simple, effective, and sustainable. In the Arctic, where temperatures remain below freezing for much of the year, food preservation is essential for survival. The Inuit have long relied on the natural cold as their primary method of storing food, using the environment itself as a freezer. Instead of refrigeration, they place meat, fish, and other perishables outside, where the freezing air keeps them fresh for months. This simple yet effective technique ensures a steady food supply even during the harshest winters. For generations, the Inuit have used underground ice cellars, known as permafrost freezers, to store large amounts of food. These cellars, dug deep into the frozen ground, maintain stable low temperatures year-round, keeping whale, seal, caribou, and fish frozen and safe to eat. Ice cellars are often shared among multiple families, reflecting the strong sense of community among the Inuit. However, maintaining these cellars requires effort. Over time, the entrances must be cleared of snow, and the food must be carefully organized to prevent contamination. Traditionally, certain spiritual and cultural practices are observed, such as keeping the cellar clean to show respect for the animals that provide sustenance. Elders often emphasize the importance of maintaining a well-kept ice cellar, believing that a clean storage space ensures successful future hunts. In recent years, climate change has made ice cellars less reliable. Rising temperatures are causing permafrost to thaw, leading to water seepage and unstable conditions inside the storage spaces. Some cellars have become unusable as melting ice allows bacteria to grow, spoiling the stored meat. This has forced many Inuit families to seek alternative storage methods, such as using modern chest freezers, though these require electricity and can be costly to operate. As a result, some Inuit communities are working on adapting traditional methods to the changing environment. Some have reinforced their ice cellars with insulation, while others are experimenting with improved underground designs that can better withstand temperature fluctuations. The transition to modern freezers is practical in some cases, but for many, ice cellars remain an important part of their food preservation system and cultural heritage. Inuit cuisine is built around nutrient-rich foods that provide energy and warmth in the extreme cold. One of the most popular traditional meals is dumplings filled with minced meat, often made from caribou, fish, or seal. These dumplings are prepared in advance and stored outside, where they freeze naturally. When it is time to eat, they are boiled or steamed, creating a hearty and filling meal that helps maintain body heat during the freezing winter. Another staple of the Inuit diet is hot soup, which plays a crucial role in hydration and nourishment. The dry Arctic air increases the risk of dehydration, and drinking warm broth helps replenish lost fluids while also providing essential nutrients. Soups are typically made with game meat, fish, or seal, cooked slowly to extract rich flavors and maximize nutritional value. The high-fat content in these meals provides the energy needed to endure long, frigid winters. Life in the Arctic is all about skill and adaptation. The Inuit have found smart ways to stay clean using only what nature provides. From bathhouses to washing with snow, they prove that even in the coldest places, people find solutions. If you enjoyed this, check out more of our videos to learn more about Inuit life.